one there obetima tena ho ache ti Arsenal there omuntesa obetima mana a lot of time so onye adwuma mfamo ya o me da sina me pese me hwe annual game no ne nsama efri mu ba Ucl Arteta sama meza di wie say they've been the better side competition and team bia say team ne ya de e chen no team no e ya de chen no this competition say there hasn't been any better team in the competition. True from the perspective team bia no how ya de gidi in the Champions League and no kwasem no okay from the perspective of Ucl Arteta. Senye Sanka Arsenal will not be in the semi-final because how Arsenal managed to beat Real Madrid, the storied Santiago Bernabeu, they normally don't lose over there, especially at that stage of the competition. When it matters that also moye the comeback now in Real Madrid, so and the fact that team Papa Bia am performing to that level, that's the reason Tia almost drew baby omudrie. So from the perspective of Ucl Arteta, he's saying things that are factual. You give the credit to him, but I think he's suffering from emotional breakdown. What's in the comment prior to game we say Liverpool points in the G League, you know, or the BA did second, but when we need
the last 2 seasons. Yes.
And now we was a PSG bench, no crab and hockey chain so team no they were the better side in the game. And now Luis Enrique Base boy on cancer bia on can be bia sa ncheno. Osan to us okay say PSG's best player in the 2 legs no mabono a goalkeeper. So me can say me subject nasem no to critical thinking and analysis. It means that he wish that he had Donnarumma in his post. Because so Donnarumma when he post the man ka ball ne ko mu no ko betimi as save boss no unlike there a call David Raya so ana a consider he's still a rookie onya bo trainer onsuya more I will game him because against Real Madrid me say also Fred Guardiola
or say first and second leg or the Pepe Kasai before the game.
But we need the one Fred Guardiola. You see, when you try to live the life of others, one share over break. Nia who say fancy koba o she we say me pese me yebino. E bia maame na pesika no go eta ho no mo pedifo no dey dress. E bi nso awada na dwono no wonda.
Yes.
Obenanti krom ha nyina. You see, don't envy anybody in this world. You will be able to be a shana ya odie. So what I say, because we live in a mystery. Obi no bit my chero seni dinti say. Obi she obi oh no you're very healthy and no cram in initial no oko. On tiase. But Ucl Arteta is trying to act and live the life of Pep Guardiola whilst he's not Pep Guardiola. So Tino, I understand he believes in football. No dia he'll be a top manager. But sir comments we normally what free those top elite coaches no now if you want say this and that no more common sense. But many are just come here. He used the word say priorities. Makandada. Say you can't play in a season. The entire America say he's trying to live in the life of Pep Guardiola, and he say Guardiola at some point will choose to use Raheem Sterling as number 9.
Yes.
Guardiola will do something crazy. Afar he takes the credit. Football should live in the way of Pep Guardiola. That is what Ucl Arteta here. Say we are seeing who say Arsenal team no there's been progression our team no, but they need somebody with a killer instinct. Yansha Gabriel Jesus ne start at Manchester City. At no point and obey the leader in terms of attack. He was the auxiliary, helping somebody from the bench. To Kuna Aguero Mubeshe Guno. Some games near Yeje Mamano. But so what teams beat Tisa now what top players are performing. The natural instinct in say you would want to be the main man. So and one casano influence performance because Aguero is performing, Sterling is doing well, so you can't relax. It was also Peja Omodimo. That is what Gabriel Jesus did at Manchester City from the bench. Competition. You want to be recognized, given the opportunity. So Ocean no hold the Kofa Gabriel Jesus so may lead the lines at Arsenal. There isn't much competition at Arsenal. He wasn't the key man. But this is an Arsenal team, man. In times past, Arsenal has never lacked quality strikers. In the Arsenal, Eja Emmanuel Shea Adebayo, that season before he left Arsenal, I think he scored 30 goals or so. I know Muja called Manchester City. City won the league. I know Muja Robin Van Persie. A season before free Arsenal, no, I share close to 26 goals at Arsenal. He went to Manchester United. He became the top scorer. United won their 20th title. That is Robin Van Persie. O check Arsenal team no strikers are. Henri Abayane the no cop. So what I say, Carlos Vela Munina at some point they were scoring for Arsenal. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang by Lacazette by. But Mikel Arteta, surprisingly, etimeni Aubameyang enya issue. Aubameyang at Arsenal won the top scorer award, the Golden Boot. Now a joint. Yes, Obeke Oni Salah, and then I think Money. Three players in the winning here. So what do you need to get over the line? A goose. But to do that at that level, untimin kofa Mikel Merino say omeshe nimu na omebonshe na Arsenal koneni. No disrespect to Arsenal Football Club or my idea. But the reality is that stage beyond a requirement. Nya baby obedru bia na ya ho aka de ne niam ansesa wo ye. So the Arsenal I misplaced priority in terms of the signing senior Messiah kind. Me who the reason tia Arsenal at the £100 million ever for Declan Rice. That figure should be a transformational signing. Until Liverpool the 75 no, all of a sudden Virgil van Dijk has solved the defensive problem. Me busa Arsenal supporters, be very honest with yourself. Declan Rice in the middle of Arsenal. At the end of the day, you different than Arsenal any.
Now, what stand for crashing because I'm coming to become.
Oh, sir, I don't need Ijomu Hanada be a different people, but to be Bobby who are at the end of 5 million or no, who is 30 cities. Obetima Bagania for the 30, Obi Baba on all the 150 cities never befa. So what I say. So Declan, no disrespect in the quality, he is a fantastic footballer. But in the middle of Arsenal team, no, see a persi a GBBA. Sa figure na ya spend no, a bit me aje the persi no. So 100 million should go in for a real poacher. And the numbers never reflected maybe a persi yekono. So you are calling, you are crying because goalkeeper BCV, he was a bet my kind of Crenshaw. Your court game based on the chances created. PSG had the most chances and also had more. Yesterday was Bakola ne Desire Due. Schoolboy game is the reason I feel so PSG will not win the Champions League. Yeah. I personally believe they will not win. You need to.
Now say Sisan no say Dembele start here. Baby ana Desire Due jina ne Bakola anka. Due ebe wo Bakola ho.
Yeah.
Dembele be wo baby ana Desire jina no.
Yeah.
So what if say be a Dembele ye fit, Lautaro so ye fit. Obi than Arsenal's and a bad game more.
You see, there are certain games be or how you need to rely on other figures than the main man. So Dembele betima be shame, you betima cage, you know. Who do you fall on? PSG team no anymore. Goncalo Ramos, you can't trust him. Desire Dewey and then the other guy.
I'm gonna say what you say win. I feel no more for Banjas and we know from Kakra.
But PSG have built a formidable team. Before then, they had a dangerous team based on the names and all. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. Answer no mbeba no kwa omunya Ibrahimovic, Cavani, Lavezzi, Pastor. They've had quality materials, but not PSG in team building team. Here comes Luis Enrique. I know here some PSG born, they are playing clearly. Almost depicted the ideologies of Luis Enrique. Now, the more born here friend say every phase of omu game, no. Obi asaso ye adwuma bi omu ye. You see the clarity and perfection. So say your goalkeeping here falling on the goalkeeping na keeper no eye na adwuma ni ye. Say Pacho ni Marquinhos na abase be eduri. They need to respond. They do it to perfection. Now, João Neves, Goncalves in the middle. And now I catch you say, they don't need celebrities. They are not celebrities. They don't want to be regarded as such, but they are efficient machines.
João Neves na lipisano.
Yeah. You see,
I don't say discuss me. Can say, oh, Sebi, only height.
Yeah.
Oh, tia, but oh, lip and
yeah. Ultimate jump.
And that jump kick lip and
yeah. Papa. You see, this PSG team, offer now to compare the PSG 3 seasons ago. Because we won't sure we moving from. But it's a football team. Every phase, PSG team now. See a goalkeeper, the assessor you know ye. See a defensive line, omu ye ni. Shenra baby a Fabian Kojinae. That is the difference. In Arsenal's team, almost say omu ye team na me bibi anye mabufu say omu set piece coach friends
Nico Jova.
Yeah, man, no say omu ba match be your friend again and say never teams remember be ya ashimi dia be. Oh, yeah, aso omu nya ayi bia na obegina ba me bisa say sa set piece no o kire de de hyenko a na on kire de defend. Arsenal set piece coach de bedru ha no o kire ayi Declan Rice go ball ni freaky o gina ho kwa na sa so no na ye ba gentleman no so ye interview no say o da bi me na me coach ne ka say me ni say. So Arsenal at the set pieces nation. This is a team play fluid football under Ucl Wenger. Omo ball na fe papa ye be che. But now no Arsenal person ko Champions League and they are relying on set pieces. But set pieces, ne people who near ball against Arsenal, Arsenal fails to defend. So at the end, Mikel Arteta said, "Oh yeah, you see, he's clearly frustrated. He will need time to recover." Arsenal and your progress under Mikel Arteta from 8th to 5th back to the Champions League spot, second on the league. Why are they? But fancy, they will need changes. Senior Mezaika, Andre Beta Wabana. I'm expecting drastic changes in terms of their transfer policy. Any players or Modeba or Arsenal because they are my idea. Any of the comments of Mikel Arteta clearly it shows Obia Onye a great loser. PSG did the work. They scored 3 goals in both legs, and I'm consider one. So it means that there was no contest. It wasn't close. Goals nature say it wasn't close. Nakofani almost MSC. Arsenal my idea very well this season. But suddenly I'm a catcher from the onset say Arsenal will not make it to the final. And these are the details they be Arsenal free. Donnarumma proves say he has come of age from the heroes or movie near criticism is a bad enough fan. Wasan grow in confidence in post. And Uche saves now, that is what you need at this stage of the competition. And Rame can say you can't get to that stage of the competition with a weak goalkeeper. And he has proven that. Paris Saint-Germain, Elko, Munich. I said, fine, you benyan simbi braka. But there's a story I'm a person, Metachi. As a Wenger, Torian manager. Yeah. Wenger Beka said, ono kwa de onya nanka UEFA assessment rule ni say oje Europa League okobo.
That was bare 3 days ago. Krano Beka say,
yeah.
No more discuss being studios and no more discuss no say oje Europa onya direct qualification to the Champions League. I know Beka say ni kwan say yen sir.
We move people.
And he say oje Europa I was all qualified for Europa League.
Yeah.
Say the man you for ni abro so oje Europa no be Champions League no. O say about say yes.
Yeah.
So OG Europa was all qualified for the said competition.
Yeah. Fancy Imbusa e say a quite ben so na clubs e qualify for Champions League from their respective
from leagues.
Yes, leagues. Inti ebi o high more 2 slots. Ebi mu dey 3, ebi mu dey 4. And now you wait for the Abeka say your free be coefficient. Inti English Premiership next season, you benya 5 teams that are qualify for the UEFA Champions League, you know. Now, Ubisa Papa Wenger say, I didn't see the name say England also represented 4, now Okunya 5. Because the performance of English teams our European competition this season, you know, performance, you know, Anna, I'm more that coefficient into ye chomo be another sport. Ideally, we share idea we are and fair. You see, they have to qualify based on position from 1st to 4th. Now, no say coefficient, no, which is an aggregate of teams that cover Europe from England. And the Ajijia boom, yeah, the points na amum, which Manchester United can. Chelsea board the Conference League, and Liverpool, Aston Villa, Arsenal. The omokobo eni nyina. Obia points in your cabo. Yes, oh, English teams now are the NT, and also another rep. Ebeka mo, dear no. So say Wenger can say there based on the media maui, and also in fair for a 5th place team. So on also beko England, obeko UEFA Champions League ni bi. Dear Wenger can. You see, Adebia starts here. Ayana a year of interest, but a hona Leko Madrid the most start here. A hona. Not seminal me sided with him to a certain extent. And they say the craze for competition and answer titles in football. No, I'm a competition be out be able to be no, they will be fighting to win the title. And the West Ham United and celebrating jubilate over Conference League in Roma. Obi energy competition. Into clubs are fighting for titles. Managers are judged based on titles. And Ucl Arteta asema abayi nka Europa League ne no akoji bia by now ka the discussion about yenya no kwan na so ntena no kran ka emba table no so because he has won a silverware anunti senka o fa na sade ya se Wenger kasa wo wini a qualification na wo se wo senya wo Europa League na me ne ya adwen. But on the other hand, clubs we nyina asa akobo a winning matches enya points mo say the 5th team and so qualify there and nullify what Wenger is saying. And Angie Hune say I say Omasha that they thought I'm not Ashe baby because they've been serious underachievers despite the quality names of Omanya over the years at Spurs. Senka omu team also almost etimi eteki a step further. Eko emonim koji big titles but omunya. Now the opportunity arrives for them say so now omu progress here they are in the final. Fate and they decide whether they win it or not. And omu win omu by in the Champions League. The woman say the statement and purely based on the rivalry that Arsenal and the Spurs in them. And what they can say, I'm said they thought you be bia and you be afe. Into they will always paint them black. So the thought I'm share any diminishing statement be an answer argument be a fact because of massa. That is what Angie Eka. But I think any fair on the part of Spurs and Manchester United because at the end starting there 2014 and they start here and clubs they be almost qualify. So Papa Wenger during that spell no where when anything wrong with the Ecos UEFA. Now Manchester United and Spurs are on the verge of getting a ticket for the UEFA Champions League based on more performance in the Europa League. Regardless of the omoye wo home. Now because say I was a scrappy side and a new can say some more mokobo. I think say many Angie be something that they are trying to just think the club any season is any for them.
Whoa, Steve made that say, my